Welcome to Writer's Way Podcast, the podcast where we step into the enchanting world of authors as we delve into their unique writing journeys and the captivating tales behind their stories. Today, we're very much honored to have McKenzie Kooima, author of Letters from Him. A mysterious letters arrive the summer before senior year. Kenna receives mysterious letters hinting at the father she's never known. With her best friend Jake, she follows the clues to New York City, uncovering hidden family ties in a secret government lab. As she becomes a test subject and dark truths surface, Kenna must confront her father's past to save herself and her future. Talk time with our host Mia Thompson and the author of Letters from Him, McKenzie Kooima.
Good afternoon, everyone. I have here on the line Ms. McKenzie Kooima, and we are going to conduct the interview with regards to her book, Letters from Him, which was published year 2021. So, McKenzie, may I know what inspired you to write Letters from Him, and was it based on personal experiences, a specific story, or an idea that you couldn't ignore?
Yeah, so I kind of stumbled on this idea when I was in college. I was, I think, a sophomore, and all of my friends, we were hanging out, but we were all on our phones or our laptop. And I was just like, well, we're not even really connecting. And then we started talking about, like, has anyone gotten packages in the mail lately or letters? And everyone was like, no. And I was like, no one really write letters anymore. So I kind of came up with this concept of Letters from Him. And when I was in college, Divergent was really big and popular. So I kind of liked the whole fear dream aspect, and so I kind of combined the two ideas and put them together, and that's kind of how Letters from Him came to be.
Oh, okay. Well, I believe that there is really meaning behind it, Letters from Him, and how could relate to the story as well. Now, Kenzie, what was the writing process like for you? Now, did the book evolve significantly from your original vision?
Yeah, it changed very much over the years, because I think it took me 5 years to write it. I went through various character names in different scenarios. So it definitely evolved over the years. I was living in Portland at the time, and I got some really great advice from a friend about, story structure that really changed my way of getting from, the starting point to the climax to the conclusion. And so that really evolved my book, but it was not a good story in the beginning. That much I will say.
Okay. Now, did you face any challenges while writing this book, whether emotionally, creatively, or structurally?
Not emotionally, not really. I think the biggest challenge I had was the plot twist, and just making, I didn't want it to be too easy to guess. Mm-hmm. I wanted it to, kind of this person is this person. Because that's one of the things I hate when reading a book, is that I hate when it's too easy to guess how the plot of the story goes. So that was probably the biggest thing, and hopefully people don't guess it too easily. But yeah, that was probably the biggest thing. And then how much dialogue to do versus description I should give. That was also kind of
I like the the idea as well, on how it explores deep emotional connections and the impact of love in a face of personal struggles. It teaches that love in all forms can bring healing and transformation. So the use of letters in storytelling can be incredibly powerful. Now, how did you approach incorporating them into the narrative?
Yeah, I kind of wanted to use them as clues on a treasure hunt is what I kind of wanted to use them as, is it gives them, it gives the characters a direction to go while also kind of like revealing a secret about their past too, that they're not their long lost family members, or what Kenna's father was involved in, even though she didn't really know him. So different things like that is what I was kind of going with the letters. And I liked the idea that it pointed them to different things in New York City. That was just kind of a lot of fun to do.
Oh, now letters from him appears to explore like deep emotions and relationships. Now, what themes did you most want to explore through this novel?
I think the biggest theme that I wanted to, well, it's kind of two, but they kind of go together, that I wanted to convey in my story is fear. It's a very real emotion, and we all go through it. You are able to overcome your fears. You might need some help getting over those fears and different things like that, which there's not an issue with that whatsoever. But like it is, you are able to overcome them. And then a second theme that I wanted to also convey is this idea of like found family. Yeah, you have the idea, or you have like the family that you're born into, but that doesn't mean you can't also find family along the way. And I think that is such a cool idea and concept these days.
Yeah, exactly. Now, in this generations right now, we could really see that there are a lot of people who is this kind of, experiencing this kind of situation, this kind of difficult time. And I know that this book could offer, like, there is a hope for a new beginnings and second chances as well. So do you see this book as a love story, a journey of self-discovery, or something else entirely?
I wouldn't say it's a love story. I like to trick people with the title of my book and thinking that it's a love story, but I like to think of it as more self-discovery for the main characters and the others that Kenna meets along the way. It's more about like discovering her past and her parents' past, and how that kind of makes her who she is today, and kind of explains some aspects of herself that she didn't really understand, but now she's starting to like develop some sympathy towards her mom, whereas in the beginning of the book she didn't really, but now she's seeing what she had to go through, which kind of makes her upbringing a little bit different. She's seeing it in a new light. So I like to think of it as a more self-discovery book.
I can see it that emphasizes on self-discovery and emotional growth as well. So, were there any real-life inspirations behind the characters or the events in the book?
So for Jake, I like to say he's a combination of my brothers. I just kind of put two of my brothers' personalities and combined it into one person. And so I don't like to tell them that, though, because I don't want them to get too big of an ego. But that's kind of how his character develops. And then Kenna is, for me, I just love someone who is like sassy and confident and independent. And she is kind of vulnerable in like situations that take her out of her comfort zone. But growing up, I was reading Divergent, Hunger Games, all these like female-led books that these girls had to have such confidence. And so that's kind of what I wanted in my main character, even though at times she can get scared and she can get vulnerable. So that's kind of what inspired her. The other characters, I didn't really have anyone to base them off of, which was kind of nice because I could kind of just like make them up in my head and kind of explore different ways of thinking than I normally would. So that was kind of a fun experience. But yeah, the main two characters, I put a lot of thought behind them, and everyone who knows me and who has read my book has said that Kenna is actually just me, and I laugh at them because I'm like, there's no way I would do half the things she does in the book. But I'm very flattered that they think that I am that outgoing too. So
I like the idea of, how you take the importance of friendship and support, like Kenna's journey, with her best friend Jake stands by her side throughout the challenges that they face. Well, this underscores the value of having supportive relationships during times of uncertainty. So for this one, Mackenzie, if you could sit down and have a conversation with one of your characters, who would it be and why?
I think the character that I would want to sit down and have a conversation with is Jules, who is Kenna's aunt in the book. And I mostly just want to have a conversation with her because she's a wild card. Like you never know what you're gonna get from her. Are you gonna get the sweet aunt who just wants to help out her niece and her nephew, or are you gonna get the very skilled hacker who has gotten mixed up in this world of conspiracy? And so I would just like to pick her brain about how she got where she is, why she does the things that she does. I would be scared to have a conversation with her, but I think it would be the most interesting conversation out of all of my characters.
Okay. Now, your book was published year 2021, and have you received any memorable feedback from readers? And what has surprised you the most about their reactions?
Yeah, so I have gotten a lot of feedback from readers. It has been mostly positive. I don't get too many negative comments from my book. But the one that really stuck with me was there was this young girl who read my book and she just sped right through it and she loved every second of it. And she said that because of my book, she wanted to start writing her own book.
Wow.
And I was like so floored. I was like, no, like, me? And it was the sweetest comment I've ever received, and I was like, that's what I love about reading, because that I read books like that growing up, and that made me want to be a writer. So I was just so honored that she gave me that comment, and I'm so happy that she enjoyed the book, and I hope she reads more of my stuff in the future. So
yes. Now, what emotions or thoughts do you hope readers take away after finishing Letters from Him?
Well, after finishing Letters from Him, I hope they're really excited to read book 2, because I very much did leave it on a cliffhanger for them. The reader and I read the ending to my book. I would just have like a really big sense of urgency. Like, what are these guys going to do now? How are they going to fix the situation that they've gotten themselves into? I don't know if they're going to have a lot of complex thoughts other than, like what will be the plot of 2. But I guess I just hope that they have a lot of anticipation for book 2.
Okay. So it means to say that there is a book 2 that is available right now in Amazon, right?
I am actually still currently in the process of writing book 2. I'm really hoping that I get it done soon is the hope, but it's currently being written.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Now, if you could see your book in the hands of any specific reader, someone who truly needs its message, now, who would that be?
I think it would just be any young reader who, kind of has a troubled past and is a little confused about like what the future holds and different things like that, but knowing that as long as you got your best friend there, everything's going to be fine. Like the world may be a complete disaster right now, but as long as you people there who love and care about you, like it's at the end of the day, it's going to be fine. And in the meantime, you might have a little bit of an adventure, but that what I hope a young reader would get out of it.
Okay, that's really perfect, So if Letters from Him were adapted into a film or a series, would you envision playing the lead role?
So when I first started writing this book, I had the idea of like who I wanted the lead girl to be, which was Sabrina Carpenter back in the day.
What?
When she was doing acting, I know it's been a really long time. Honestly, now I don't know. I guess I would really just want someone who encompasses like the personality of the characters. Honestly, like I'd be okay if it was complete unknowns who got the roles of the leads in my book. I would just be honored that it was, being adapted into something else. But I think about it all the time, and I'm just like, I don't know who I'd want in these roles anymore. But I would really just hope that they would have the personality. I think that would be the biggest thing. So
Exactly. Now, what do you think, Mackenzie, makes this story compelling for a potential adaptation?
I think it's compelling in the sense that it's really fast, and there's a lot of intriguing. What does this mean? And the letters are just, you want to know what the letters mean at the end of the day. And then there's a little bit of government conspiracy theory thrown in there. I just think it's such a unique plot that you haven't really seen in a while. I don't want to like toot my horn too much there, but it's just very different from a lot of the stuff that we see and even read nowadays. So I just think it's a really great and easy story to adapt that I think audiences just would really sink their teeth into.
Okay. Well, would you be open to collaborating with filmmakers or scriptwriters to bring the story as visual medium?
Oh yeah, for sure. I would love to talk with people who would be willing to adapt my book into a different form of media. So that would be super exciting.
Yes, exactly. Now, aside from book two that you are currently writing right now, do you have any upcoming projects that you're excited about where your readers could look forward to it as well?
Well, I really wish I was, but I am just very much into finishing book two. I started it as soon as I finished my first book. I did take a little bit of a break because I was trying to publish my first book at the same time, but I am just trying to finish the second book and get it out as soon as possible. So I'm really bummed that I don't have anything else.
Okay. Now, this question, what advice would you give to aspiring authors, especially those writing deeply emotional or personal stories?
The advice I would give is like don't be afraid to go there. Sometimes I think we get scared to be like too vulnerable and emotional in front of other people. So I think that's the greatest advice I can give. And also, I got this advice from my college professor who said, you can write bullshit. That's totally fine. Just as believable bullshit. Like, it doesn't need to be proven. It doesn't need to be scientifically correct. But if you can get the audience behind you in any point, then that's all you need to make a really great story. So I guess those would be my 2 points of advice for anyone who wants to become a writer.
Okay, that's really perfect. Now, one last question. Is there anything else you'd like to share with your readers or those discovering your work for the first time?
Yeah, I mean, my first book, Letters from Him, it's about a story of a girl who, gets these weird letters the summer before her senior year of high school. And it's not until her best friend pushes her to open them that she goes on to the scavenger hunt throughout New York City. And, if you want to go on a crazy ride through New York City, give Letters from Him a chance. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of sarcastic humor. There's a little bit of government conspiracy theory. There's just a lot in there for a wide variety of an audience. Check it out for sure.
Okay. And might as well you want to mention on the, your book, where is it available that they could purchase your book somehow?
Yes, it is totally available. You can purchase it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble. You can get it on Kindle as well. And you can find it on Goodreads as well. Sorry, I forgot about that one. And Google Play. So it's all
Perfect.
available on there, and check it out.
Yeah, okay. Now, do you have a website, by the way, Mackenzie?
No, I don't have a website.
Okay, okay. Now, your book, it carries a powerful and deeply moving message that deserves to be shared with the world. It's more than just story. It's a beacon of hope for those searching for their identity, strength, and purpose. And your writing, it reminds readers that even in the face of uncertainty, pain, and the unknown, there is always a path forward. Like
Mhm.
through
Mhm.
Kenna's journey, you show the importance of perseverance, the power of love and friendship, and the courage to seek the truth, no matter the obstacle. So, by spreading the
Yeah.
lessons of your book, you are giving others the encouragement they need to step beyond their fears, to embrace
Yeah.
their own stories, and to believe in the possibility of something greater. Now, your words have the power to change lives, helping young people who feel lost, giving hope to those who long for connection, and reminding everyone that they are never truly alone in their struggles. And the world needs stories like yours. So keep sharing it, keep inspiring, and never stop believing in the impact your words can have. Okay?
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Mackenzie.